This is Italian football lover channel, my friends. Today I'm gonna make predictions. Match day 3 games of Serie. You can subscribe to my channel, watch my videos, and please click on the like button. Thank you so much. Let's start from the Cagliari Parma game. Cagliari won versus Parma 2-1 last season at home. And Cagliari stayed draw against Fiorentina 1-1 in first match at home. They lost against 1-0 Napoli in second away game. And this Parma team stayed draw against Atalanta 1-1 at home. They lost against 2-0 Juventus in first away game. Cagliari and Parma has 1 point. In my opinion, my dear friends, this game may end up in draw. Parma will force Cagliari significantly. A draw is probable in that game. But with home advantage, just by 1 goal margin in that game, I want to take a chance to Cagliari for victory. Cagliari 2, Parma 1 is my prediction for this game. Second game, Juventus Inter. Juventus is going to be at home. They won versus Inter 1-0 last season at home. And at the same time, Inter lost against 2-1 Udinese at home. It was so astonishing result. In the first game, Inter won versus 5-0 Torino at home. Juventus is going to be at home. They won versus Inter 1-0 last season at home. But they could get just 1 victory against Inter in the recent 5 games played between of these two teams. Juventus won versus 2-0 Parma. In first match at home, they won against 1-0 Genoa. In second away game, they have 6 points. They not concede even a goal in the first 2 games of Serie. Igor Tudor is good and clever manager. This is my opinion. But Juventus will want to make the advantage of playing at home. But Inter will force Juventus significantly. My prediction is going to be draw for that game. Draw. Juventus 1, Inter 1. And another match, Fiorentina-Napoli off. Fiorentina is going to be at home. Fiorentina got 2 consecutive draws. They have 2 points. They stayed draw against 1-1 Cagliari in first away game. Again, they remained draw against 0-0 Torino in second away game. First time they are going to be at home this season. Napoli have 6 points. They won versus 2-0 Sassuolo in first away game. Again, they won against 1-0 Cagliari at home. Napoli found the goal in the last minutes of the game, my dear friends. Napoli is the champion of the last season under the management of clever and experienced manager Antonio Conte. Last season, Napoli won versus Fiorentina 3-0 in away game. Again, this is going to be so challenging game. Just by 1 goal margin, one more time, I want to take a chance to Napoli for victory. Fiorentina 0, Napoli 1 is my prediction for this game. Roma Torino, Roma is going to be at home. And my dear friends, Roma got 2 successive victories under the management of clever, genius and experienced manager Gianpiero Gasperini. They won versus 1-0 Pisa in away game. They won against 1-0 Bologna in first match at home. They not concede even a goal in the first 2 games of Serie. Torino have just 1 point. They stayed draw against Fiorentina 0-0 at home. They lost against 5-0 Inter in first away game. They couldn't score even a goal in the first 2 games of Serie. Last season, Roma won versus Torino 1-0 at home, as I remember. This time, one more time, I want to take a chance to Roma for victory. Roma 2, Torino 0 is my prediction for this game. Atalanta Lecce. Last season Atalanta Lecce game ended up in 1-1 draw. Atalanta got 2 consecutive draws. They got a poor start to the season. They have 2 points. They stayed draw against 1-1 Parma in away game. They remained draw against 1-1 Pisa in first match at home. Lecce just 1 point this season is going to have through. So poor for Lecce in my opinion. They stayed draw against Genoa 0-0 in first away game. They lost against 2-0 Milan in second match at home. They couldn't score even a goal in the first 2 games of Serie. But I feel in that way Lecce will force Atalanta. I don't rely on Ivan Juric as a manager, my dear friends. But after a hard clash, just by 1 goal margin, this time I want to take a chance to Atalanta for victory. They will get the first triumph of the season. Atalanta 1, Lecce 0 is my prediction for this game. Pisa, Udinese. Pisa is the new team of Serie. They stayed draw against 1-1 Atalanta in first away game. They have 1 point. They lost against 1-0 Roma in second match at home. Udinese won versus 2-1 Inter in last away game. Surprisingly, they stayed draw against Verona 1-1 in first match at home. They have 4 points. Udinese is better team than Pisa, but this is going to be away game for Udinese. I see that Udinese is seeming a little bit closer to victory than Pisa, but Pisa is going to be resistant at home. Because of that, draw is going to be my prediction. Pisa 1, Udinese 1. And Sassuolo Lazio, off. Sassuolo is going to be at home. They have no point. They got a very poor start to season. They lost against 2-0 Napoli at home. They lost against 3-2 Cremonese in second away game. Lazio won versus Verona 4-0 at home, but they lost against Como 2-0 in first away game. In last game, Lazio won versus Sassuolo 2-0 in away game, my dear friends. Lazio is stronger and better team than Sassuolo. I don't count on Sassuolo anyway. Because of that, I want to take a chance to Lazio for victory. Sassuolo 1, Lazio 2 is my prediction for this game. Milan, Bologna, off. Another hard clash is awaiting us. Massimiliano Allegri is mediocre manager. I don't rely on so much Massimiliano Allegri as a head coach. Milan lost against 2-1 Cremonese in first match at home. They won versus 2-0 Lecce in second away game, but Lecce is so weak opponent. Bologna has 3 points like Milan. Bologna won versus 1-0 Como at home. Bologna is playing better at home. They lost against 1-0 Roma in first away game. In that game, my dear friends, Milan is seeming little bit closer to victory Bologna. Milan is one step closer to victory than Bologna. This is reality, but I feel in that way. I don't count on this Milan team so much. Because of that, last season they won versus Bologna 3-1 at home, but my prediction is draw for that game, draw. Milan 1, Bologna 1. And Verona, Cremonese, another hard clash is awaiting us. Verona has just 1 point. They stayed draw against Udinese 1-1 in away game. They lost against 4-0 Lazio in second away game. This is going to be the first game at home this season for Verona team. And Cremonese got an excellent start to season. They won versus 3-2 Sassuolo at home. They won against 2-1 Milan in first away game. They have 6 points. But my dear friends, I feel in that way Verona won't lose this game. Nevertheless, Verona is seeming a little bit closer to victory than Cremonese, but Cremonese is at the top form as of lately. Because of that, my prediction is going to be draw for that game, draw. Verona 2, Cremonese 2. And Como Genoa, off. Last season, my dear friends, Como won versus Genoa 1-0 at home. Como is playing better at home under the management of Fabregas. Fabregas made the difference for Como team since the beginning of the last season. They lost against 1-0 Bologna in away game. They won versus 2-0 Lazio in first match at home. This Genoa team couldn't score even a goal in the first 2 games of Serie. They got a poor start to the season. They stayed draw against 0-0 Lecce at home. They lost against 1-0 Juventus in first match at home. My dear friends, this is going to be the first away game for Genoa this season. Genoa will force Como significantly. Maybe draw is possible, but just by 1 goal margin. Under these circumstances, I want to take a chance to Como for victory at home. Como 1, Genoa 0 is my prediction for this game. All my predictions like this. Match day 3 games of Serie. You can subscribe to my channel, watch my videos. Please click on the like button. It makes me so glad. See you on my next videos, my dear friends. Bye.